Hello, welcome to King of Review. I'm Kerwin, and today we're going to take a look at solving quadratic equations by factoring. Actually, there are several methods for solving quadratic equations: factoring, completing the square, using the quadratic formula, and graphing. You see, this is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, one of the most famous quadratic landmarks. The parabola between the two towers in the shape of quadratic function. Then, what is a quadratic equation? Let's take a closer look at it. A quadratic equation in X is an equation that can be written in the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Some of you may get confused with the difference between an equation and an expression. Firstly, an equation is a mathematical sentence that says that two things are equal, just like the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. However, an expression is a mathematical phrase that stands for a single number. So, ax squared plus bx plus c is an expression in this standard form. An expression can also be a single number or variable since it has a numerical value. In short, an equation consists of two expressions connected by an equal sign. And the name quadratic in quadratic equation comes from quadratic meaning squared because a variable gets squared like x squared. It's also called an equation of degree 2 because of the 2 on the x. Now we know the meaning of a quadratic equation. Then let's take a look at solving quadratic equations by factoring. When a quadratic equation is written in a standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, it may be possible to factor the left side of the equation as a product of two first-degree polynomials. We use the zero product property and set each linear factor equal to 0. We solve the resulting two linear equations to get the right solutions for the quadratic equation. Let's solve the equation x squared minus 5x minus 24 equals 0 together. You know this quadratic equation is already in standard form. And this quadratic equation is possible to be factored out to x plus 3 times x minus 8 equals 0. If a product equals 0, one of its factors has to be equal to 0. This is called the zero product property. Either the first factor x plus 3 must equal to 0, or the second factor x minus 8 must equal 0. And now we need to solve each of these equations for x to determine our solutions. So here we subtract 3 on both sides of this equation. 3 minus 3 is 0, so we know that one solution is negative 3. And then to get the second solution, we add 8 to both sides of the equation, which should give us x equals 8. Therefore, the solutions are x equals negative 3 or x equals 8. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. Solve the equation x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals negative 3. Some students make a mistake solving this kind of problem because they don't put the equation in standard form first and use the zero product property incorrectly. You may think that it's possible to factor out this left side. So if we factor it out, we get x minus 1 times x minus 5 equals negative 3. But we can't use the zero product property here since the right side is not 0 here. We can't proceed anymore. This is wrong. We should make the right side 0 to use the zero product property. The first step is to write the equation in standard form by adding 3 to both sides. This is 0, so we got x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Now we can factor off the left side. So we got x minus 2 times x minus 4 equals 0. use the zero product property and set its factor equal to 0. So x minus 2 must equal 0, or x minus 4 must equal 0. And then solve these equations for x. Therefore, x equals 2 or x equals 4. Please don't forget to put the quadratic equation in a standard form first. Let's take a look at one more example. Solve the equation 2x squared equals 5x. I saw some students making a mistake solving this as well. The common mistake here is dividing both sides by x, which is not allowed because x might be 0. When both sides are divided by x, then we get 2x equals 5. Solve this equation for x. So divide both sides by 2. And this gives us x equals 5 halves. But this is incorrect. The first step is to write the equation in standard form by subtracting 5x. So we get 2x squared minus 5x equals 0. There is a common factor x, so let's factor out the x. X times 2x minus 5 equals 0. Now use the zero product property and set its factor equal to 0. Either x equals 0 or 2x minus 5 equals 0. So we have one solution, x equals 0, and solve this equation for x. Firstly, add 5 to both sides. So we get 2x equals 5. And then to isolate this x, we'll divide each side by 2. So we get the other solution, x equals 5 halves. Therefore, the solutions are x equals 0 or x equals 5 halves. We see that one solution, x equals 0, is lost when the original quadratic equation is divided by x. So please remember to put the equation in standard form first and then factor. So far we've covered solving quadratic equations by factoring. This is the simplest way to solve quadratic equations. We'll talk about solving quadratic equations by completing the square in the next lesson. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching and see you next time.